Hi, my name is Tamas, and I'm one of the co-founders of Piqniq. And to kind of set the stage, my background, I'm not a chef, I'm not a foodie. I do enjoy great food, and I love to bake, mostly pastries or pizza, usually with my kids. I love to try new things, I love to experiment in the kitchen, and love to share that with friends and family. I also enjoy going to small mom and pop restaurants when I'm traveling. And on the weekends, I love to pick up something at the market and find a good place to eat it where I can people watch or go to the riverside and watch the boats go by. So I love these food experiences. I'm always looking for new ones. I love to share the ones I have. But where do you find such experiences or ideas? Well, it's all over the internet, right? But the problem is, without a filter, it's just way too much content out there. I mean, if you look at Facebook, it's mostly junk nowadays, with an occasional sprinkle of interesting status update, politics, some food stories, or some sad news that happened. When you look at Instagram, it's mostly over-stylized photos that are, on Twitter. And Twitter is mostly about news or talking at events like this, where people are tweeting all over the place. But all of these platforms are really based or built and optimized to get likes to your posts. But they're not they're not meaningful in your real life. And food is real. Food is part of everybody's life. What you eat is who you are. And when you go in the morning and have a great coffee and a conversation at a local store, it kind of makes your day better. When you get home after a long day of work and have dinner with your family, it kind of makes your day meaningful. And sometimes on a Saturday, when you smell fresh muffins baking in the kitchen, it somehow retroactively can make your entire week much better. I mean, food is real, it's important. And so the question is, where do you find real food experiences, relevant food experiences? And you don't have to look far. It's basically right around the corner. It's your neighbors, your friends, people living around you. They're actually, they shop at the same stores as you do. They walk home in the same rain as you do. On the weekends at the farmer's market, they pick up the same seasonal vegetables as you do. So whatever food experiences they have and stories they have are relevant or attainable. It's something that you can have too. So what if there was a place where you could, but that focuses only on these experiences, sharing these experiences, a place that's dedicated to food, sharing food with friends, and making every post actionable, attainable. So you can actually, if you want to have that, you can actually relive it and kind of make that same thing that they make. And that place is it's a community where you can share knowledge, tips, where you can share your success stories or your fails. It's a place that's more about celebration than competition. And that place we're hoping is Piqniq. Piqniq is the place where you can share your favorite new spot in the neighborhood. It's the place where you can show off that pie that you made for your kids over the weekend. It's a place where you can ask your friends what to do with all the apples you picked. It's the place to share and discuss food. And that's relevant, that's attainable, that's local. And so Piqniq currently, it is a mobile app that we're building. It's obviously in the digital space, it's on the internet, but we're trying to build it so it's not only connecting people online, but actually driving offline experiences. So people are actually going out there and doing things for real. And when we started building Piqniq, we basically looked at the current ways of how people are sharing photos, a lot of them on Instagram. And what we looked at is, okay, is there a better way to tell a story? Is there a better way to make it more food specific, more relevant, more relivable? So a couple of things we have in our current platform is we have multiple photos, because we don't think one photo is enough to tell a story. We put in links so you can, if you find an awesome recipe or something on a blog, you can easily link it in there and share it with friends. We have an I made this stamp, so if it's something that you made and you posted on Piqniq, you can put a big stamp on your post saying I made this and be proud of it. Next to the like button, which we had to have, unfortunately, we have a one button, which it's much more about this is something I want to try, I want to eat. So if you see something on Piqniq that you really want, you kind of can save it with the one button that it puts in your save list. Like, this is something I want to recreate. We have something called inspired by. So if somebody inspired you to make something, you can link them to your post and kind of thank them that, hey, they just made your day better. On your profile in Piqniq, we're obviously showing things that you ate, and we're also showing things that you want to eat. So it's kind of your running list of wants. Piqniq is also focusing on friends. We think that inspiration ideas coming from friends are more relevant because you kind of know them, so you're more confident about recreating them because you kind of go like, if they can make it, I can make it. And if it doesn't turn out good, you can always ask them and ask for help of how to do that. It's also very interesting with most of us, we don't really know what our friends are really eating. And with Piqniq, you kind of get an insight into their everyday lives. And it's interesting how, food is such an important part of our lives, and we really don't know about our friends. We also have something on Piqniq called tables. And the idea around tables, it's a community within a community. I mean, if you want to share and discuss food with like-minded folks, what better place to do than around the table? And initially, right now it's digital, and what you can do on a table is you can see who else is sitting around the table. Pretty soon we're going to show the most active people at the table. We call them the hosts of the table, so the tastemakers. And we're also building in extra features where we can kind of start discussion around the table with the goal of actually taking the table eventually offline. So our dream with Piqniq is to build a platform that really gets people back kind of offline, gets them more active, back in the kitchen, cooking more, sitting down more often with their friends, having a great meal, and paying more attention to what they're putting into their body. And we're actually sort of launching Piqniq in Portland this week. So I wanted to ask the help of this amazing Portland community to help us build Piqniq into a place that can truly kind of change how people eat around the world. So if you like food and if you have food stories to share, please download the app, invite your friends, share your stories, and thank you.
Awesome, thank you.
Questions? Yes?
Is there a gamification aspect? Like, can I get a badge for eating bacon 30 days in a row?
A little bit. There's going to be something called PQ scores. So instead of your IQ, it's your PQ. Piqniq scores, what we look at is not only how active you are on the platform, but how much comments, how often people remake whatever you posted, and based on that, there's a counter in the background that shows your Piqniq score. It's not visible yet. We're actually counting in the background. We're collecting the data, and at some point, we're going to probably turn it on. Yes?
How are you going to make money?
No idea. Actually, our goal with Piqniq is we do see the big data component in the long term. And what we'd love to do is have that big data and give it to local small businesses and small producers instead of big companies. Big companies already have their big data. So trying to build a platform where we can collect all this information, see what the trends are, and give it to the corner store, give it to the small producer, help them figure out what to put on their shelves, what to plant in their gardens. That's further down. Any other questions? Back there, sorry, way back there. Hi.
So I was wondering, is this only local right now? Are you looking at people globally being able to use this as well?
Well, right now, I mean, it's up in the App Store. It's available. You can only put it up for the entire country. We don't want to kind of localize it. We're focusing on Portland, and we've been doing beta testing in Portland for the past few months. But as far as around the country, anybody can download it. We had people telling us from all over the place that they would love to see this. We're a small team of 7. Half of that is in Portland, half of it is actually in Europe, but we are focusing on the Portland area. But eventually, yeah, obviously, we want to go all over.
Is an Android app involved?
Android, as soon as we think the iPhone app is closer to where it should be, we have actually an Android team on standby in Hungary. Other half of the team, and I'm currently in Budapest, Hungary. And our incubator was Kitchen Budapest, which is kind of funny, but anyway, we have an Android team, so as soon as we go, it's probably going to be a month to push out the Android version.
Okay.
Any other questions? I can do technical questions too.
Is there any ad-based revenue to be had from this?
I don't want to do that. We could. I could see sponsorships if people are if advertisers are creating value for our customers or community. I would love to see them, but I don't want to have that. We actually been approached by a pretty large grocery chain that's not known for quality, and they wanted to invest, and we said no, thank you, because our users don't not really appreciate that. So we're trying to find that middle ground. Thank you, Tamas.
The first recipe's got to be duck.
Well, I was gonna play with the apple pie that Piqniq just made recently, but I didn't work it into the presentation at the end.
Hey, somebody just followed me on Piqniq. That's pretty cool.
Cool, awesome. Thank you very much.